What did you think of the Shadow Priest talent tree? I find it inelegant. There's a lot that I like about it. There's a lot of really good ideas in there, like really good ideas in there. If I only saw the abilities and not the tree, I'd think it was amazing. If you just showed me the abilities not connected to each other and not in the shape of a tree, I'd be like, whoa, there's some cool shit on this tree. It's kind of like top-loaded. And the reason for that is because they don't want you to be able to get to more than one old god idol. And I know why they've done that. It's obvious why they've done that. It's probably the right thing to do, but I think that has created quite an uneven and quite inflexible and inelegant, like I say. However, the Discipline Priest, I think, is like literally the model for what these trees should be. As in, it's fantastic. As in, it's really very good, and that's what the trees should be. Like, it's great. It's got loads of new ideas in it. There's like 3 solid builds that are obvious from it for different kind of scenarios and playstyles and things. And within those 3 very obvious solid builds, there's like wiggle room and variety within those as well. So I think the Discipline Tree is literally what they should be basing these on. There's a lot of talk about power infusion, and rightfully so. I think it has been something that's pissed people off. And I think essentially what the community would like would be if it was only self-cast, right? Blizz obviously don't want to do that. They obviously want it to be something that helps out, you know, the team as a kind of a support ability as well. So what they've done, I think, is that genuinely, I think they found a fairly good middle ground, which I think is going to, you know, most people are going to be fine with it, is essentially power infusion is baseline. It's pretty much impossible not to take power infusion. Like, as in, you have to make purposely the worst build on Earth not to take power infusion. So it's baseline. Like, to all practical intents and purposes, it is. And to be honest, Twins of the Sun Priestess is also pretty much baseline for Shadow and Disc. It's definitely baseline for Disc. In 95% of cases, it's baseline for Shadow as well. And Holy as well, to be perfectly honest. It's easier to miss it with Holy than anyone else. But for Shadow and for Disc, it's baseline. So what that means is, with Twins of the Sun Priestess being baseline, it means that Shadow and Discipline Priests, and most of the time Holy Priests as well, they're going to have a power infusion that they put on someone else, and they also get the benefit from it as well. And I think that being baseline, which it is a fairly good middle ground. Because I raid Heroic, and I try and get my Keystone Master every season. That's the kind of level that I like to play at. And, you know, at that level, you just use PI on yourself. I use PI when I fucking need it for my ramp up. Simple as that. With this new talent tree, with Twins of the Sun Priestess being baseline now, it means that I will cast it on someone in my party when I need it. Unless you've got a Shadow Priest who really wants to get Holy Word life, it's baseline. Because you need it to get mind games or anything else. It's not very malleable. You know, the malleability and the variety comes in the spec trees rather than the actual priest tree, to be perfectly honest. I think it would be a shame if they got rid of power infusion. I quite like this. The only reason people don't like it is because they don't get it. They don't get it, and so they don't do as well on the logs as they think they should. We as a community need to give a little bit less of a shit about that sort of thing. And it's something that helps your team do its thing. And we keep saying that we want a support class, right? Power infusion is the kind of thing you'd find in a support class. Someone's going to get it and someone's not going to get it. Simple as that. And if all we give a shit about is logs and your personal logs and things like that, then we're going to have a game that has no support abilities. Do you want that? I don't want that. Does the WoW community consider support different from heals? Yeah, pretty much. And I think it is. I think it is different. I always play support, like cheering or bringing flasks. I play Discipline Priest, okay? Like, you can all play me the world's fucking smallest violin when you complain about, you know, PI and the way that affects the logs and shit. Literally, one of our most important abilities, Barrier, does not appear on healing logs. Simple as that. Like, one of the biggest reasons Disc even get taken in Mythic raids and stuff, and the reason they were mandatory, like, up until very recently, is because of Barrier, because it's so great. doesn't even appear on healing logs. Like, my most important ability does not appear on the logs. So I'm really fucking sorry if, you know, like, you didn't get power infusion and someone else did, and the warlock looks better than they are because they got power infusion on your personal logs. I'm really fucking sorry about that, but you're talking to a motherfucker whose main ability doesn't even appear on their logs. So fuck you. My heart bleeds for you. It really does. And sometimes you don't cast it. Yeah. Well, what's the point? It's never on the fucking logs. If damage mitigation from my barrier was put on the logs, same with pain suppression, I'd use it a fuck ton more. Simple as that. I'm fine with power infusion as it is in this talent tree. I like that it's been made mandatory, but even more than that, I like that Twins of the Sun Priestess is also mandatory. For me, that's an interesting middle ground. I think it was the right decision to make. I think it's actually quite... Dare I say this? Am I going to get ripped apart online if I say this? I'm going to say it anyway. I think it's quite good design. I know you're not allowed to say that, but I think it's genuinely smart design, what they've done here. How much did they pay you to say that? A jar of hot dogs? How did you know? Like I say, the Holy One is a bit messy, in my opinion. The Shadow One has some amazing ideas in it, but the tree itself is quite inelegant. Everything in the Shadow Priest tree is good. There are some really clever ideas in this tree. The problem is the actual tree. The tree itself is inelegant, but there are some brilliant ideas around there. I'd much rather that it was full of good ideas and the tree itself just needed pruning, trimming, whatever. I'd much rather that than like an elegant tree with shit ideas in it. What they've done is they've top-loaded it because they don't want anyone to be able to get both of the old god idols. And that makes perfect sense, right? That makes perfect sense. I understand the thinking there. But of all the things to be wrong with the tree, you'd rather that than anything else. There are some great ideas. There are some great ideas in here. The discipline tree, however, is fucking exquisite. The discipline tree is genuinely very, very good. It's full of good ideas, new stuff, good returning stuff from conduits and legendaries, new ideas with Shadow Covenant, bringing back Light's Wrath, and the way the tree is organized. Like I say, there are 3 solid builds here, and within those 3 solid builds, and there's variety within those builds as well. So I think the discipline tree really is the kind of the model that they should use and aspire to. I think this is top drawer. This is everything you want from a talent tree. Like, even this new kind of stance dance they've put in, which won't be used very often, but I love the idea. Disc Holy not getting access to Mindseer feels like an oversight. Disc never used Mindseer. The problem with Mindseer is that you don't get atonement healing out of it. Or you do, but only on like one target. Like, only on your main target that you're searing. You'd use it for pure DPS, but you'd never use it for healing. Yeah, lots of damage in Mythic Plus, but you know what you're going to get more damage out of? Fucking Wicked Star. Mindset was your DPS filler on 2+ targets. Yeah, but you're a healer. Who gives a shit? You're already a healer who can pump some damage, right? I'm not going to give a shit about losing that. Sorry. I think that's the point. You should get to choose to pick it up if you want more damage. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Sure, yeah, fine, why not? Just put it there. I'd never take it. I'm not a fan of contrition being mandatory. I don't see the harm in it. If something's mandatory, what's wrong with that? Because what it does is it just gives you an extra tool. And you're right, it is mandatory. Contrition and castigation. And like, I think that's going to be quite interesting. Because I absolutely, in Mythic Plus, and sometimes even in Raid, in an oh shit moment, I will fucking penance a motherfucker. Sometimes I do that. Like, genuinely. And that'd be kind of cool. I still think this is a great talent tree. I think it's really, really good. And I'm super happy with it. And very excited to play with it as a Discipline Priest player. Like, genuinely very excited about it. I think it's a great example of what these trees should be. I think the holy tree is very good as well. It's just a bit messy. The shadow tree has got some brilliant ideas on it, but it's a bit inelegant. And that's my opinion on priest, which is probably the class that I know better than any other class. So yeah, it's been interesting to have tree for a class that I know a bit better than druid or DK. Do we need all talent trees before the alpha launch? No. And hello, Taliesin? No, I don't even think that would actually be preferable, honestly. I don't think it's feasible, and I don't think it's preferable. If you think back to how they tested Torghast, they had like a couple of classes available to go into Torghast with every build. And specifically those classes, because they wanted people specifically to test those classes to have very focused testing. Because they specifically wanted feedback on this class in Torghast. And I think that was actually quite a good way of doing it. And I see nothing wrong in testing the talent trees like that as well. Rather than busting their asses to get them all ready and then like the testing to be this huge scattershot. I think focused testing of a couple of classes and specs every build. So it's like, this build, we want you testing priests and druids. DKs maybe. And like this build, we want you testing this and this and this. And I think that's a really good way of doing it. And what it means is those classes that you've given feedback on get taken off again, so that feedback can be worked on and then they get put back on again. And I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a good way of doing it, honestly. Like, genuinely, I think it's good to have that focused testing and focused feedback. And the good thing about the talent trees is it is possible to get feedback on them even if they're not implemented into the game. You know, no one's actually had a chance to test the priest talent trees, but we can also like give an impression on them and give some feedback on them. That's what I think. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The alpha has to be out by the end of next week. I personally can't see a world where that doesn't happen. I have no insider knowledge. I just feel like that needs to be the case, right? If we're going to hit this 2022 release date, which apparently we are, so...